Hello, my name is Karen Stroschnitter and I work with busy people who want more freedom in their lives, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about default mode thinking, introduce you to your autopilot and explain how mindfulness actually counteracts you being lost in your own head. So everybody's had that experience of you're driving somewhere, it's usually driving, and you're either lost in thought or you're lost in conversation, and you get to your destination and you can't even remember how you got there. You don't remember the journey. Well, that's because your autopilot is actually working for you. Now, the autopilot is a wonderful, adaptive, genius component of your brain. Your brain basically hardwires everything that you repeatedly do, and so that you can do it again without having to think much about it. It's really useful. However, your autopilot becomes harmful when you spend too much time in autopilot, because when you're operating on autopilot, you're basically lost in your own thinking, you're not present, you're not here, you're not right here, right now. And the impact of that is that you miss out on your life. I just want to reinforce the fact that it is a healthy, adaptive mechanism. None of us would get out of our bedrooms of a morning if it wasn't for our autopilot. If we had to stop and think through, how do I button this coat, how do I zip up this jacket, how do I tie these shoelaces? It's normal, it's healthy. It is only unhealthy when you spend a lot of your time there, because then you're lost. You're lost in your own head, you're not present, and you can't actually enjoy your life and what's going on right here, right now. So mindfulness then is the practice of actually noticing when you're lost in your own head and bringing yourself back. It keeps you awake. You could kind of say autopilot is a bit like sleepwalking through life. Now, a lot of our bad habits occur on autopilot. You know, things like perhaps drinking too much or eating too much or yelling at the kids. So the great thing about being mindful is that it can interrupt those old habits. And this is a really big reason why mindfulness is a huge component of coaching, because you get to notice things before you're actually lost in them. So I've talked to you about 4 modes of thinking that I call default mode thinking. Default mode thinking is purely when you're lost in your own head and you're not present in your life. The 4 that I've spoken about have been monkey mind, which is when your mind's splitting off in all directions. I've talked to you about past future thinking, or resisting the present, because when you're not here, you're missing out on your life. I've talked to you about the stress response and how when you maintain a constant stress response, usually through constantly being busy, you're turning off your brain's ability to think well, and you're actually being quite destructive to your body and your mind generally. And the last one is the autopilot, which is just basically unaware of what you're doing. So 4 components of default mode thinking: removes you from your life. Mindfulness brings you back so that you're actually focused. You are here, you are now here, and life actually feels better. So when you are present, you enjoy your life more. You feel more alive, you feel more energized, you feel more connected. You feel more connected to other people as well as being quite connected to yourself. Mindfulness is a process, it's not a destination, it's simply a practice of bringing your attention back and back and back when you notice that you're lost in thought. Over time, mindfulness neurosculpts your brain. That's right, it actually changes the hardware. And when you change the hardware, your software systems, how your mind works, has to change as well. So it neurosculpts a brain that actually works differently, and you get to see yourself differently, you get to see the world differently, you get to see other people differently. You react in a way that you're proud of later, or you respond actually versus react. Because mindfulness gives you that nanosecond of time to actually choose your response. So that's where your freedom is. Your freedom is in what you give your attention to and how you respond to what happens in life. So, for more tips on mindfulness, please go to my website, www.kerenstroschnitter.com, and sign up. I'd love to see you there.